we will be first understanding what all the chapters you have in your syllabus for your direct taxation. After that, we will start with your very basic chapter, that is your introduction of tax system in India. This includes all those meaning of tax, how many types of taxes are there and all those things. Okay, chalo. Okay, this is your paper 7 for your direct taxation. Just ओके देखो टोटल आप लोगों को ना इसमें हाउ दे हैव फ्रेम्ड योर सिलेबस इज, आप लोगों को 3 सेक्शन बनाया है, ठीक है। सेक्शन 1 है विच इज हैविंग इनकम टैक्स बेसिक्स, मतलब यहाँ पे आप लोगों को ऑल बेसिक थिंग्स रिलेटेड टू इनकम टैक्स, दैट इज व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय द टर्म कॉल्ड टैक्स, differential between the direct and indirect tax, all those things, all those terms they will be giving. Okay, so that is there. Along with that, what are the exempt taxes are there, मतलब there are so many taxes which is exempted, जैसे कि आप लोगों को डिविडेंड मिल रहा है वो सब, ठीक है, तो वो सब आप लोगों का है. सो इट इज फॉर योर 10 मार्क्स. आप लोगों को 10% दिख रहा है, दैट इज योर फॉर 10 मार्क्स. इफ यू गाइज हैज रिसीव द मॉड्यूल, नो, अगर किसी के पास मॉड्यूल है ना, आओ ना पेज ओपन करो, कम टू दिस सेकेंड या थर्ड पेज पे ही होगा जहाँ पे आप लोगों को स्ट्रक्चर दिया हुआ है. ओके, हाँ, सो दिस 2 इज देयर फॉर योर 10 मार्क्स, ठीक है. अच्छा, इन दिस इट ऑल्सो इंक्लूड्स योर रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस. हाँ, आप लोगों का रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस एंड स्कोप ऑफ टोटल इनकम यू माइट हैव हर्ड इन योर ग्रेजुएशन, वो चैप्टर भी इसमें इंक्लूड है, ठीक है. सो ये आप लोगों का टोटल आउट ऑफ 100 में से 10 मार्क्स के लिए आप लोगों का आएगा. देन सेक्शन बी इज विच इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ठीक है, उसके बारे में हम लोग चलो बाद में डिस्कस करते हैं. फर्स्ट वी विल कम टू द सेक्शन सी. व्हाट इज गिवन इन योर सेक्शन सी? सो सेक्शन सी में आप लोगों का है टैक्स मैनेजमेंट, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रोसीजर एंड द आईसीडीएस, ठीक है. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय ऑल दिस थिंग्स? सो आप लोगों का रिटर्न फाइलिंग का डेट कैसे फाइंड आउट करने का, रिटर्न फाइल करते वक्त हम लोगों को टैक्स पे करना है तो हाउ वी कैन यूज योर टीडीएस, फिर आप लोगों का टीसीएस, फिर कितना हम लोगों को एडवांस में टैक्स पे करना होता है, दैट इज. सो ऑल दोस इंफॉर्मेशन, ऑल दोस प्रोसीजर हैज बीन एक्सप्लेन हुए हैं, ठीक है. सो वो है आप लोगों का. फिर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट आईरेची होती है आप लोगों के, जैसे कि आप लोगों का कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया समझो, तो आप लोगों का रिटर्न फाइल में कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा, सो इंस्पेक्टर से स्टार्ट होता है, देन असेसिंग ऑफिसर होता है, देन कमिश्नर ऑफ डायरेक्ट टैक्स होगा आप लोगों का, फिर प्रिंसिपल कमिश्नर होता है आप लोगों का, ठीक है. ऐसा पूरा हायरार्ची होता है. सो उसमें कौन कौन आता है, ठीक है, हु ऑल आर देयर इन योर हायरार्ची ऑफ ऑफिसर्स. सो आप लोगों को एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रोसीजर में मिलेगा. तो सेक्शन वाइज उन लोगों ने ये भी दिया है कि कौन से सिचुएशन में कौन से ऑफिसर के पास जाना है, कब जाना है, कितना टाइम पीरियड में जाना है. जैसे कि समझो आप लोगों के घर पे नोटिस उन लोगों ने भेजा है कि आप लोगों का जो इनकम आप लोग बता रहे हो वो इनकम बराबर नहीं है, उसमें आप लोगों ने कुछ ना कुछ कंसील किया है, मतलब टैक्स की चोरी की है. सो दे विल गिव अ नोटिस दैट आप लोग या तो फ्रेश रिटर्न फाइल करो, या तो हम लोग आप लोगों के प्लेस पे आके आप लोगों का बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट एंड ऑल लेके आप लोगों का रिटर्न हम लोग फाइल करेंगे. सो दैट इज व्हाट देयर इन योर दिस चैप्टर, ठीक है. एंड द लास्ट वन आईसीडीएस. आप लोगों ने कभी ना कभी अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड सुना होगा. अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 10 was famous for your earning per share. अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड डिफरेंट डिफरेंट अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स है. तो अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स के थ्रू हम लोगों को पता चलता है कि हम लोगों को रिकॉर्डिंग कैसे करना है. तो सेम वे योर आईसीडीएस. आईसीडीएस में आप लोगों का इनकम कंप्यूटेशन एंड डिस्क्लोजर स्टैंडर्ड, यहाँ पे टैक्स का जो भी आप लोगों का है वो रिकॉर्ड कैसे करना है आप लोगों को, ठीक है. दैट इज ऑल दे हैव गिवन, ठीक है. सो ये बेसिकली थियोरेटिकल है, बट ये थियोरेटिकल, इट्स नॉट सिंपल थियोरेटिकल लाइक एडवांटेजेस डिसएडवांटेजेस, ये प्रोविजन ऑफ लॉ है. सो लॉ में इन लोगों ने बताया कैसे सिचुएशन में किसके पास जाना है, कैसे प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना है, दैट इज ऑल. तो ये आप लोगों को 20 मार्क्स के लिए आए, ठीक है. दैट इज देयर. इंपॉर्टेंट है, देखो जो आप लोगों को 10 और 20 मार्क्स दिख रहा है ना, वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज इसमें कंटेंट बहुत कम है, थोड़े से कंटेंट है, मार्क्स अच्छे दे रहे हैं आप लोगों को. अब जो 70 मार्क्स दिख रहा है ना, आप लोग समझो ये बुक अगर 900 पेज का है ना, तो उसमें से कम 800 पेजेस का वो सेक्शन बी है. 800 पेजेस का, आई कैन से मोर देन 80%. वो सेक्शन बी का पार्ट। बाकी के जो बचे हुए पार्ट है थोड़े से, वो सेक्शन ए एंड सी का है। सो इट इज हैविंग योर लेस मार्क्स विद मिनिमम कंटेंट। तो कंटेंट के हिसाब से देखा जाएगा तो ये बहुत अच्छा मार्क्स आप लोगों को गेन करेगा। सो एवरी टाइम आई टेल द स्टूडेंट्स, अगर डायरेक्ट टैक्स पास होना है तो आप लोगों को सेक्शन और सेक्शन सी पे अच्छा फोकस करना पड़ेगा। मैक्सिमम आई कैन नॉट से, बट यू हैव टू फोकस वेरी वेल इन मैनर विथ प्लान, मतलब प्लानिंग एंड ऑल के साथ आप लोगों को, हाँ ये पॉइंट है अपना ऐसा, दैट इज देयर। नाउ वी कैन स्टार्ट विद योर सेक्शन बी। सेक्शन बी में क्या क्या आप लोगों का, सो सबसे पहला तो आप लोगों का हेड्स ऑफ इनकम, ठीक है। आप लोगों को तो पता ही होगा, टोटल 5 हेड्स ऑफ इनकम इज देयर, सैलरी, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी, कैपिटल गेन, बिजनेस, अदर सोर्सेस। उसका कंप्यूटेशन कैसे करना आप लोगों को, वो हेड्स ऑफ इनकम का कंप्यूटेशन कैसे करना, मतलब वो टैक्स अमाउंट कितना है आप लोगों का, टोटल इनकम कितना है आप लोगों का, वो कैलकुलेट कैसे करना है, ठीक है। और उसके बाद टैक्स लाइबिलिटी, आप लोगों का टैक्स लाइबिलिटी मतलब आप लोगों को इतना इनकम आया, समझो 10 लाख आया, सो 10 लाख का टैक्स लाइबिलिटी कितना आ रहा है, दैट इज ऑल देयर, ठीक है। सो वो सब आप लोगों को यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है, ठीक है। इट इज नॉट योर थर्ड चैप्टर, इसमें देखो ये थर्ड पार्ट है आप लोगों का, उसमें देखो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स है आप लोगों को। they have income from salary, they have income from house property, business, मैं बताता हूँ रुको। So this is all there, salary, यहाँ से देखो बी आप लोगों का पार्ट स्टार्ट हुआ है। Okay, so from here your B has been started, so here onwards you can see different heads, every heads they have given, हर एक हेड्स के बारे में लोगों ने दिया, सैलरी, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी, पीजीपीपी, ओके, ऑल दोज इंफॉर्मेशन, देन कैपिटल गेन एक्सेट्रा, ठीक है, दैट इज ऑल देयर। तो it looks only one topic for you, but it has so many chapters in that, okay। So wo ho gaya, that is done। It is all related to finding out every calculating every heads of income, then combining that all heads of income and calculating the total income, and after calculating the total income, calculating the tax liability, okay, that is there। Then your fourth one is related to clubbing, set off, carry forward, and deduction. You might be knowing about deduction, ATC, ATD, ATT, ATTTA, ATTB, all those deduction. So how you have to use those deduction for calculating your tax liability, how using those deduction you reduce your tax liability, वो सब आप लोगों का है। Then your clubbing it's like how your spouse income will be clubbed with your income। जैसे कि जानबूझ के क्या करते हैं ना, husbands put the house property on the name of wife, they kept on the name of the wife, so that whatever the income they are receiving from the house property, it will be in the hands of wife। And for example she is housewife, so she won't be having any type of income, तो वो पूरा का पूरा 2,50,000 में हम लोग क्लेम करके they don't pay any taxes, that is what they usually follow, okay। So that is there। Then set off and carry forward previous years, whatever losses are there, that you will utilize and you will set off in your income, and you will reduce your current year income, that is there, okay। And the last thing, calculation of tax liability of different persons they are saying। Now what do you mean by different persons? Different person means individual ka hoga, then it will be for your partnership firm, then it will be for your companies, then your LLP, okay। So you need to calculate your tax liability for individual different persons, HUF and everyone, okay। So this is all your syllabus, okay, and this will contain your 70 marks, 70%, okay, that is your section B, okay। This is all about your section wise I have explained। Now see, for example your paper is for 100 marks, okay, but actually whatever the paper we get, that is your accurately I can say 150 marks paper, 150 marks paper with option I am saying। For example, I am not saying, see, they give 7 questions and they ask out of 7 you have to appear only for 5 questions, for example। So I'm not counting only 5, I'm counting all 7, so including option you have 150 marks paper, okay। So out of 150 I can say you will be getting minimum to minimum 110 or 100 for section B, okay, and remaining all related to section A and section C। But very importantly, include your both section A and section C is going to give compulsory 30%, that is 30 marks for your syllabus, for your subject. Okay, 30 marks. And the remaining thing from your section B. Okay, chalo. Now we will be starting with your introduction to Income Tax Act. That is your basic chapter. Anyone, any doubt related to the whatever the syllabus structure I have explained to all of you section wise? Anyone want to ask anything, add anything, want me to repeat any point, any help? Yeah, please tell me. Take it. So we can start with your fresh chapter. That is your first chapter. That is your introduction to Income Tax Act 1961. Okay, that is your basic concepts, I can say. Okay, now there might be students who have studied with me. They all know some of the all this theory part and all. But we also have new students in the section. So we need to study all these things again. We will be repeating all those things, and hope so you guys will get a revision of whatever we have completed. Okay, chalo. Now we are starting with the introduction of tax system in India, introduction of Income Tax Act in India. Okay, so before starting to that thing, we will be understanding first your meaning of tax. What do you mean by tax? What do you understand by the term called tax? Okay, so tax is something, it is some kind of price which we are paying to the government to civilize the society. Okay, it means, see, we are using a different benefits, welfare, or a product of a government. For example, we are using roads, we are using dams, we are using police stations. Okay, we are using all these benefits of the government. Okay, do we pay any amount to the police people for using their police stations? Do we pay any amount to the roads? I'm not talking about the toll charges, that is a different thing. Normal roads, whatever we use, do we pay any amount for that thing? Do we pay any amount for the dustbins what we have around us due to the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? We don't pay any amount. Why? For all those things we are paying the tax. All those things we are paying a tax. Okay, so tax is basically a something kind of price, something your monetary we are paying to the government for using all the benefits and welfare products has been provided by the government. That is, the government is giving the civilization of society. Okay, so this definition has been given by the Justice Hormus in the year 1860. Okay, who was the Justice Hormus? So Justice Hormus was the person, he was the Chief Justice of US Supreme Court. He was the Chief Justice of US Supreme Court. So he said in the year 1860 about the term called tax, that tax is something, your price which we pay to the government to civilize the society. So tax is a price which we are paying to the government. In return, government is providing us the civilization. Okay, that is there. That is the roads, dams, bridges, everything they are providing for us. Okay, that is there. Now about the Article 265. After that, we are going to study about the Article 265. Now, sir, what do you understand by this term called article? Why, sir, you are talking about the article? Okay. Now, see, we have whatever the rights we have, whatever the rights we are enjoying, right to speech, right to freedom, and all those things. That is all given by the Constitution of India. Constitution of India has given us a different rights which we are using, we are enjoying. Okay. So, same way, whether we have to pay taxes or not, whether a person or an institution can charge tax on us or not, that is has been provided by the Constitution of India. Constitution of India आपको बताता है कि आपके ऊपर tax applicable होगा कि नहीं होगा. ठीक है. Now, how you came to know about this point? This point in Article 265, that is in your Constitution of India. In Constitution of India, Article 265, they said no tax can be levied or collected unless except authority by law. It means no one can applicable tax on you, that is levy, or can collect tax from you. That is, you don't need to pay. You don't need to pay any taxes to the any person, any institution, until and unless authority has been given by the law. Until and unless law has permitted you to pay the taxes and applicable the taxes on you. Okay, so there used to be a something called hafta vasuli things and all in Mumbai and in different cities. The local gundas people and all, they used to collect the amount and they used to utilize for your benefit only. Like something happen in your shop or on your business place or your premises, so they used to take care of all those things. Okay, and for those things you was paying something in return for them, which is also which is called as your hafta vasuli in the 90s or 1991, all those period. Okay, so this was something which was similar to tax, but it was illegal because the government has not permitted to pay the any amount to all those people. Government had not permitted to them. Okay, so that was there. So we are paying the different taxes on daily basis. For example, हम लोग income tax pay करते हैं. We are paying the GST. We are paying the custom duty. We are paying all these different taxes. So are we liable to pay? Are they have given the permission from the taken the permission from the Constitution of India? Are they can applicable on us and collect from us all those income tax and GST? Answer is yes. If yes, who has given them the permission? उन लोगों को permission किसने दिया? So permission has been given to them is the Constitution of India Act 1949 in Article 246. So in your 7th schedule of Constitution of India, in 7th schedule, we have Article 246. And Article 246 explains all about your Income Tax Act. Okay, so there they have given the permission for charging the tax on your income, which is called as your income tax. Okay, which is called as your income tax. Okay, now before starting to the detail about the Income Tax Act 1961, I think we should discuss about your types of tax. हम लोगों को types of tax के बारे में पढ़ना चाहिए. Anyone, any doubt till now related to introduction part, whatever we have studied about the definition, article, and the 7th schedule of Constitution of India? Okay, no doubt. Now, second is your related to types of tax. There, how many types of taxes are there? So basically, there are two types of taxes are there. One is your direct tax, second is your indirect tax. Now, what do you understand by the term called direct tax? What do you understand by the term called indirect tax? Okay, direct tax का मतलब क्या है? Indirect tax का मतलब क्या है? Okay. Now, direct tax is something which is directly charged on your income. Okay, and indirect tax is something which is indirectly paid by the person. Okay, see, I stay somewhere near to our office is somewhere near to the masjid area, so there will be some sound for just 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, after that it will be gone. Okay, chalo. So now definition, that is the meaning we are studying. Okay, meaning is about the direct tax and indirect tax. Why we call direct tax as direct tax? Why we call indirect tax as your indirect tax? So direct tax because, for example, I am earning sum of rupees 10 lakh. I am earning sum of rupees 10 lakh. On 10 lakh, I am the person who is responsible to pay the taxes to the government. I am earning 10 lakh, then I will pay tax to the government. Okay. So this is what called as your direct tax. This is what called as your direct tax. The person who is earning the income, he is paying taxes to the government directly. Okay. So that is what your direct tax is. Okay. Now, what do you understand by the term called indirect tax? What do you understand by the term called indirect tax? Okay. Now, indirect tax is something which is indirectly paid to the government. Indirect tax is something which is indirectly paid to the government. For example, all those manufacturer or the service providers, okay, of a particular goods or a particular services, what they have to do before removing their goods from the factory, they have to pay the taxes from their own pocket to the government. Before removing those goods from the factory, they have to pay the taxes from their own pocket to the government. So they pay to the government from their own pocket. After the certain period of time, when they have sold this product to the customer, they recover this taxes from the customer, saying that it is a part of your price of the product. It is a part of your price of the product. So इन लोग क्या करते हैं, मैन्युफैक्चरर उन लोग पहले अपने जेब से टैक्स पे कर देते हैं और सेम टैक्स जो है कस्टमर से रिकवर करते हैं प्राइस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट बोल के, दैट इज एमआरपी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट बोल के. यू माइट हैव सीन एमआरपी के नीचे आप लोगों का क्या लिखा होता है, इंक्लूसिव ऑफ टैक्सेस. एमआरपी के नीचे आप लोगों का क्या लिखा होता है, इंक्लूसिव ऑफ टैक्सेस. इट मींस व्हाटएवर द प्राइस इज देयर, that is your inclusive of taxes. उसमें आप लोगों का tax included. So it means your manufacturer is first paying to the government and same taxes he is recovering from the customer. मैन्युफैक्चरर क्या कर रहा है, पहले अपने जेब से गवर्नमेंट को पे कर रहा है और सेम टैक्सेस वो कस्टमर से रिकवर कर रहा है, क्या बोल के, प्राइस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट. सो इफ यू नोटिस वेरी केयरफुली, actually tax has been paid by the actually tax has been paid by the customer, not by the manufacturer. मैन्युफैक्चरर ने क्या किया, पहले अपने जेब से पे किया और फिर किससे रिकवर किया, कस्टमर से रिकवर किया, saying it is a part of the price of the product. So your actual burden of taxes has been taken by the customer. Actual taxes कौन पे कर रहा है आप लोगों का, कस्टमर पे कर रहा है, ठीक है, that is it. So customer is directly paying to the government. No, customer is not paying directly to the government. Customer is indirectly paying to the government with the help of the manufacturer. Matlab he pays to the manufacturer and manufacturer pays to the government. Okay, so he is not directly paying taxes to the government. He is paying indirectly to the government. That is the reason it is called as your indirect tax. इसके लिए हम लोग उसको क्या बोलते हैं, indirect tax. Okay, now this is your meaning of taxes, meaning of direct tax, meaning of indirect tax. डायरेक्ट टैक्स मेरा इनकम है, मैं डायरेक्टली गवर्नमेंट को उसके ऊपर टैक्स पे कर रहा हूँ, इसके लिए हम लोग उसको डायरेक्ट टैक्स बोलेंगे. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स, मैंने इनडायरेक्टली गवर्नमेंट को उसके ऊपर टैक्स पे किया है, जैसे कि कस्टमर जो है पे करते हैं, पहले मैन्युफैक्चरर पे करता है, फिर सेम टैक्स कस्टमर से रिकवर करता है. सो इट मींस एक्चुअली हु इज पेइंग द टैक्सेस, कस्टमर इज पेइंग द टैक्सेस. सो दैट इज, ही इज नॉट डायरेक्टली पेइंग टू द गवर्नमेंट, इनडायरेक्टली पे कर रहा है. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज योर इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स. ओके, नाउ एग्जांपल, what all the examples are there for your direct tax and indirect tax? So for direct tax there are two examples. One is your income tax, second is your wealth tax. One is your income tax, second is your wealth tax. Now what do you understand by the term called income tax जो हम लोग पढ़ने वाले? What do you understand by the wealth tax? See, earlier there was some kind of tax which is called your wealth tax. Okay, this used to be applicable on your properties whatever you have. जो भी प्रॉपर्टी आप लोगों के पास है उसके ऊपर आप लोगों का ये वेल्थ टैक्स एप्लीकेबल होता था. ओके, दैट इज देयर. नाउ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स, व्हाट आर द एग्जांपल ऑफ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस आर देयर? देयर आर टू एग्जांपल ऑफ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस. वन इज योर जीएसटी, सेकंड इज योर कस्टम ड्यूटी. वन इज योर जीएसटी, सेकंड इज योर कस्टम ड्यूटी. जीएसटी गुड्स एंड सर्विस टैक्स, जो आप लोगों के गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज के ऊपर एप्लीकेबल होता है. सेकंड इज योर कस्टम ड्यूटी. कस्टम ड्यूटी विच इज एप्लीकेबल ऑन योर इंपोर्ट एंड एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट. आप लोग जो इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं प्रोडक्ट, उसके ऊपर एप्लीकेबल होता है. ठीक है, दैट इज योर सेकंड थिंग ऑफ योर डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन. सेकंड पॉइंट, दैट वाज योर एग्जांपल. सो हम लोगों ने मीनिंग देखा, वी हैव कंप्लीटेड एग्जांपल. नाउ वी विल गो टू योर थर्ड पॉइंट. व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय योर थर्ड पॉइंट? दैट इज योर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. ओके, नाउ व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय दिस टर्म कॉल्ड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन? ओके, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन मींस टेकिंग केयर ऑफ दैट डिपार्टमेंट, taking care of that activity, administrating that activity. For example, see, we go to the college, we study in the classroom and all, teachers come and they teach us and everything happens. But the fees thing and your examination form thing, your railway concession form thing, all those things, we need to done with the admin department, because all your fee structure, your registration, your application, everything will be taken care by the admin department. That is the administration. Okay, so that is there. Now second way I will try to explain you. For example, we have Ministry of Railways. आप लोगों का Ministry of Railway है. Now ministry, अगर हम लोगों ने बोल दिया to the Ministry of Railway, you have to take care of all the railways in the India on your basics, your single hand, you have to take care of all those things. So you won't be able to take care, बिकॉज कितना बड़ा रेलवे आप लोगों का स्ट्रक्चर इन इंडिया, एवरीथिंग एक ही के ऊपर आएगा तो नॉट पॉसिबल. दैट इज द रीजन दे हैव मेड डिफरेंट रेलवेज, जैसे कि वेस्टर्न रेलवे है, सेंट्रल रेलवे इज देयर, साउथ सेंट्रल इज देयर, ऑल दोस थिंग्स आर देयर. सो दे हैव डिवाइडेड देम इन अ सम यूनिट और सम डिपार्टमेंट वाइज. सेम वे in central government we have a ministry of finance, where all the income and all the expenses incurred by the government has been to be recorded, तो वहां पे जो आप लोगों का फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री है, वहां पे हम लोग सब जो भी आप लोगों को इनकम मिल रहा है गवर्नमेंट को, जो भी गवर्नमेंट एक्सपेंसेस पे कर रहा है, वो सब रिकॉर्ड करना होता है. नाउ गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू रिसीव इनकम इन द फॉर्म ऑफ टैक्सेस. ओके, सो क्या मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस को ये सब रिकॉर्ड करना पड़ेगा? आंसर इज नो, बिकॉज दे हैव सो मेनी एक्टिविटीज टू डू. If they will concentrate only on one activity, so I don't think so. We don't feel it is going to happen. So उन लोगों ने क्या किया, different department wise they have set all those things. So for direct tax they have made a department which is called as your CBDT, that is Central Board of Direct Tax. And for indirect tax they have made a department which is called as your CBIC, that is your Central Board of Indirect Tax and Custom, CBIC. Okay, so all the procedure and structure, all the things of related to direct tax has to be administrated and taken care by the CBDT, Central Board of Direct Tax. And all the things related to indirect tax will be taken care by the CBIC, that is Central Board of Indirect Tax and Custom. ठीक है, ये हो गया आप लोगों का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. Now applicable and chargeable. Applicable and chargeable. Now what do you understand by the term called applicable? What do you understand by the term called chargeable? Now applicable means on which person it is applicable. On which person it is applicable. And chargeable means on which activity it is chargeable. On which activity it is chargeable. Okay. Now applicable I am discussing. See. So generally it is applicable, direct tax is applicable on the person who is earning the income. The person, whoever has earned the income, he is liable to pay the taxes. Okay, so it is applicable on the person who is earning the income. Indirect tax is generally applicable on the manufacturer or service provider. Whoever the person is, the manufacturer or the service provider, government collect taxes from them, from the manufacturer or the service provider. Then this manufacturer people, they collect the taxes from the customer, saying that it is the price of the product. Okay, so generally indirect tax is applicable by the government on manufacturer or the service provider. Okay, that is there. Now chargeable on which activity it is chargeable. Your direct tax is chargeable on the income what you have or a property what you have. जो भी income है आप लोगों ने earn किया उसके ऊपर, या तो जो भी property आप लोगों के पास है उसके ऊपर आप लोगों का applicable होता है direct tax. And indirect tax is applicable on whatever the goods and services you have. जो भी goods and services में आप लोग deal कर रहे हो, that is your indirect tax. उसके ऊपर क्या applicable होगा, indirect tax. Okay, so direct tax is chargeable on your income and property. Indirect tax is chargeable on the goods and services what they have. Okay, that is your chargeable on. Okay, then the next point is your nature of tax. This is input tax. Input tax we are going to ignore, because that is important for your IDT part. So whenever we will be studying IDT, that time I will be explaining to all of you about this thing. Okay, now we will be discussing about the nature of tax. What is your nature of tax? What is your behavior of tax? Okay, so basically there are two types of taxes which we are studying. One is your direct taxes, second is your indirect taxes. Okay, now what is the nature? Direct tax is your progressive in nature. It is progress day by day. Indirect tax is your regressive in nature. Regressive, it means it is a constant in nature. Okay, now what do you understand by the term called progressive? What do you understand by the term called regressive? Okay, now see, progressive means your income has been increased. Earlier you was earning sum of rupees 5 lakh. So you were paying tax on only on 5 lakh. Okay, now you are earning 7 lakh rupees. So you are paying taxes on 7 lakh. That is there. Then you started earning 10 lakh rupees. Okay, so you will be paying taxes on 10 lakh. Okay, that is there. How your income will increase, same way your taxes will also increase. Okay, how your income will increase, same way your taxes will also increase. So that is your progressive in nature. Okay, so first you was paying on your 5 lakh, then you was paying on your 10 lakh, then next year you earn 20 lakh, then you started paying on 20 lakh. That is your direct tax. It is keep progressing. How's your income progress, same way your tax will also progress. Okay, that is there. Then the second point, your direct tax also make the differential between the rich and poor person. Direct tax make the differential between the rich and poor person. For example, the Mr. Mukesh Ambani sir, he has a lot of income, so he will be paying the huge amount of taxes. Okay, on all the activities. Okay, whatever he has huge amount of income, so he is liable to pay huge amount of taxes. Same way, I am the person earning sum of rupees 10 lakh. Okay, so I will be paying tax on 10 lakh. I will be paying tax on 10 lakh. Okay. For example, you all are students. Okay. You don't have any kind of income. So you guys will not be paying taxes. Okay. That is there. So more income, more tax. Low income, low tax. No income, no tax. Okay. That is there. Okay, that is about your direct tax. Now, what do you understand by the indirect tax? What do you mean by the constant? Okay, the term called constant. So constant, like it is same for everyone. Whether you are a rich person, whether you are a poor person, it is same for everyone. For example, you are purchasing some kind of soap, okay, some soap or any kind of the product on which tax liability is 5 rupees, I can say. For example, you are purchasing for rupees 25, selling price is 25. Out of selling price of 25, 3 rupees is the tax. Out of selling price of 25, 3 rupees is your tax. Okay. So for example, you are purchasing that soap. So you will be paying tax 3 rupees. Okay. I am the person having the income of 10 lakh rupees. So I will be paying tax of rupees 3 on that soap or any kind of product. Same product has been purchased by the Mr. Mukesh Ambani sir in the same supermarket. Same soap he is purchasing. So he will also be paying a tax of rupees 3. Okay. He will also going to purchase at the rate of rupees 25. For him also the selling price will be same. Even if he has the more income, he will be paying tax of rupees 3. And the third point, that is you students. For example, you are still a students not working in organization and all things. So you guys will also require to pay a tax of rupees 3 only. You guys also require to pay a tax of rupees 3 only. Okay. You also have to pay selling price 25. Out of 25, 3 rupees will be the taxes. Okay. So in your indirect tax, whether you are a rich person, a poor person, or having no income person, no tax liability will be same. For everyone, it will be same. But direct tax, it is always progressive. The income increases, your tax liability increases. More income, more tax. Low income, low tax. No income, no tax. That is there. Okay. That is your nature of tax. We have completed with the completed till the distinguence of your taxation system in India. I can say the very small topic which is called your tax system in India we have completed, where we have covered definition part, then your then your distinguish between the DT and IDT. Anyone wants to ask any doubt till now related to the points whatever we have studied? Any extra clarification, any point you guys want me to repeat? Chalo. So we can start with your next point. That is your Introduction of Income Tax Act 1961. Introduction of Income Tax Act 1961. Okay, this point. Now, as I said, Constitution of India 1949. In the Constitution of India, your 7th schedule is there, and in your 7th schedule there is Article 246. आपके Constitution of India में 7th schedule है, 7th schedule में Article 246 है, जहाँ पे उन लोगों ने इनकम टैक्स एक्ट जो है आप लोगों का पब्लिश किया हुआ है, आप लोगों का इनकम टैक्स जो है उन लोगों ने वहां पे रिलीज किया हुआ है. ठीक है. नाउ वो इनकम टैक्स एक्ट सर कब से अप्लीकेबल हो रहा है और कैसे उसका रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन एवरीथिंग. Okay, कहाँ तक applicable होता है and everything. Okay, so that is there. So your Income Tax Act 1961 is commenced from 1st April 1962. See students, you guys also get 20 to 25 marks MCQ in your exam, which is very much important to clear your exam, because MCQ में आपको डिटेल में नहीं लिखना, you just have to mark it. टाइम भी सेव होता है एंड करेक्ट हो गया तो पूरा का पूरा 1 मार्क्स मिलेगा. हम लोगों ने मेन सम किया तो टीचर कैन कैंसिल योर सम ऑफ मार्क्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ प्रेजेंटेशन, बट एमसीक्यू में ऐसा नहीं होगा, जो है वो आपको पूरा का पूरा मिलेगा. So that is why all these terms, all this section I'm trying to give you all in detail. Okay, so same about your income tax. So आपका जो income tax act है 1961, it has been commenced from 1st April 1962. कब से start हुआ आप लोगों का ये? 1st April 1962 से start हुआ, and it is applicable to whole India. पूरे इंडिया में applicable है, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so Income Tax Act 1961 has been commenced from 1st April 1962. कभी से आप लोगों का applicable हुआ है? 1st April 1962 से applicable हुआ है. ये पूरे इंडिया में applicable होता है, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So why I am forcing on Jammu and Kashmir? Because you might be knowing there was an issue related to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. हम लोगों का बहुत सारे एक्ट थे, रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन थे जो आप लोगों के जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के स्टेट के ऊपर अप्लीकेबल नहीं होते थे। ओके, तो इसके लिए स्पेसिफाई करके मैं आप लोगों को बोल रहा हूँ कि जो इनकम टैक्स है वो पूरे इंडिया में अप्लीकेबल होता है, एज वेल एज अप्लीकेबल ऑन द स्टेट ऑफ इन द स्टेट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर। ओके, दैट इज देयर। नाउ सी, दिस इज अबाउट द एक्ट आई सेड, योर डेट 1 अप्रैल 1962, जब से आप लोगों का स्टार्ट अप्लीकेबल हुआ, एंड कहाँ तक अप्लीकेबल होता है पूरे इंडिया में इंक्लूडिंग द जम्मू एंड कश्मीर। ठीक है, ये हो गया। नाउ सेकेंड पॉइंट इज अबाउट सबऑर्डिनेट, मतलब अभी जैसे आप लोगों का एक्ट है, इन एक्ट आई एम सेइंग यू हैव टू पे द टैक्सेस। ओके, नाउ हाउ यू हैव टू पे द टैक्सेस, क्या यूज करके पे करना है, नेट बैंकिंग यूज करके पे करना है, कौन से डेट तक आप लोगों को पे करना है, ठीक है, ऑल दोस थिंग। सो दैट इज ऑल गिवन इन योर रूल्स, वो सब कहाँ पे दिया आप लोगों को, रूल्स में दिया। सो इन रूल्स they have given all the details that how you have to follow your act. Okay, तो जैसे कि हम लोग देखो जॉब पे जा रहे हैं, आप लोगों को जॉब पे बोला है कि आपको कॉस्टिंग से रिलेटेड जो भी है काम करना है, तो कॉस्टिंग से रिलेटेड काम करना है सर, आपने बोला सही है, दैट इज द एक्ट, बट कैसे करना है, मतलब क्या सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करना है, सैप सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करेंगे या कोई दूसरा सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करेंगे, कौन सा डे वर्किंग होगा, कौन से डे वी हैव टू कम। ओके, वो हो गया आप लोगों का। देन कौन से डेज फॉर्मर्स पहन के आना है, क्या टाइमिंग में आना है, दैट इज ऑल योर रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन। ओके, सो वो आप लोगों का है। ठीक है, सो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन जो है आप लोगों का, दैट इज गिवन इन इनकम टैक्स रूल्स विच इज ऑल्सो अप्लीकेबल फ्रॉम 1 अप्रैल 1962। तो आप लोगों का जो इनकम टैक्स एक्ट है उसका सबऑर्डिनेट, that is your rules, income tax rule 1962, ठीक है, that is applicable from 1 अप्रैल 1962। तो ये आपको बताएगा कि आपको एक्ट को कैसे यूज करना, ठीक है, that is done about your introduction of income tax act 1961। okay, and your rules। okay, now we will be going some of the concept in your income tax। यहाँ तक किसी को कुछ डाउट पूछना है, anyone any doubt till now? okay, now we will be going for your concept in your income tax act 1961. We have a different terminologies, different concept we have। okay, terms we have। okay, so first is your person। what do you mean by term called person? हम लोग अब तक जनरल लैंग्वेज, लोकल लैंग्वेज में पर्सन का मतलब क्या समझते थे, इंसान, आई कैन से ह्यूमन बीइंग लाइक मी, यू एंड एवरीवन, वी आर अ पर्सन। बट कैन only and only the person like us are liable to pay the GST? Can government charge the taxes, whether the GST or the income tax or anything, only and only on the person like us, person like you, me, and everyone, like individual person? No. Government also may have to make applicable your taxes on the companies। government को company के ऊपर भी tax and all charge करके उन लोगों से collect करना है, ठीक है। so that is the reason in income tax act उन लोगों ने detail में आप लोगों का person का definition दिया। what is all there? person means individual, HUF, partnership firm, LLP, body corporate, that is called your company, association of person, body of individual, municipal authority, local authority, and artificial judicial person। okay, now sir, what do you understand by this all this terms sir? इसका मतलब क्या है सर, नहीं समझ में आया। इंडिविजुअल मतलब यू, मी एंड एवरीवन, वी ऑल आर इंडिविजुअल पर्सन, हम लोग सब इंसान इंडिविजुअल। यू आर वर्किंग इन सम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, गेटिंग सैलरी, सैलरी के ऊपर इनकम टैक्स भर। आपके पास यू हैव एक्स्ट्रा हाउस प्रॉपर्टी, यू हैव रेंटेड एट प्रीमाइसेस, इनकम फ्रॉम हाउस प्रॉपर्टी में उसके ऊपर टैक्स भर, दैट इज देयर। नाउ HUF, हिंदू अनडिवाइडेड फैमिली, व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय दिस टर्म? आप लोगों ने 11th 12th you might have studied in your OCSP and all, HUF, Hindu undivided family, what do you understand by this term? HUF means that is a family business. Some people have their family business which is they are carrying on. For example, they have a agriculture family business, or they have a, I can say some garment business they have. I can give example of your this thing, uh, some people in the village, their grandparents was doing agriculture activity, then your dad also doing a same agriculture activity, you yourself is also doing the same agriculture activity, and your future sons and anyone, your daughter, they will also will be doing the same activity। so ये हो गया आप लोगों का फैमिली बिजनेस, जो पुरखों से चलते आ रहा है वही हम लोग आगे भी करें। So that is your HUF. Whatever income they are getting doing that business, that will be taxable under the head HUF. Okay, that is there. Then partnership firm. What do you understand by this term called partnership firm? Two or more than two people coming together and they are doing sharing some activity, sharing some business strategies or business planning, business growth. That is your partnership firm. Okay, so either they might have registered themselves in partnership act or not, but compulsory they have made some deed. उनको एक agreement type बनाना है, deed कि sharing कितना partnership का, all those things. Okay, so that is there, partnership firm. Okay, so partnership firm को जो भी income हो रहा है उसके ऊपर उन लोगों को tax pay करना. Okay, that is done. So that is your partnership firm. Then LLP. What do you understand by the term LLP? LLP is same like your partnership firm. The only difference is that in your firm, the liability is unlimited. But in LLP, your liability is limited to amount what you have contributed. Okay, same thing. So LLP also, whatever they are earning, they are liable to pay the taxes. Then body corporate. Body corporate means company, like Reliance is there, Tata is there. Okay, all those companies. So whatever income those companies are earning, they are liable to pay the taxes on it. Okay. Association of person. Association of person means two or more than two people coming together and doing some same activity. Two or more than two people coming together and doing the same activity. Okay. Those people are different in nature, different in profession. For example, I can say your fitness gym. In your fitness gym, there will be a different people will be coming. Some might be a doctor, a chartered accountant, cost accountant, or a job person, an employee, or anyone. They all are coming in your gym for a making themselves fit. Okay. So whatever the membership fees you are paying to that gym, that is liable for GST because that is treated as your association of person. उसके ऊपर आप लोगों को income tax भी pay करना है. You are also liable to pay income tax on those membership fees, whatever you are paying. Okay, so matlab it means that gym people, they will be paying the income tax. Okay, that is it. Then your body of individual. Body of individual का मतलब क्या समझते हो? Body of individual means two or more than two people coming together and doing the same activity. They are doing the same activity. For example, and those people are same in nature. For example, all rickshaw people has some union. All taxi drivers has their own union. Okay, now ये रिक्शा वाले लोगों का यूनियन हो गया, टैक्सी वाले लोगों का यूनियन हो गया. ठीक है, they are also receiving some sort of money, some sort of income. जैसे उन लोगों को डोनेशन मिलता है, they get some money from the some different area. फिर उन लोगों को खुद को भी see, they have to register themselves in union. So in union they have to pay some membership fees. Okay, so those union, rickshaw union and taxi union people, whatever the income they are earning, they are also liable to pay the income tax. ठीक है, उन लोगों को उसके ऊपर income tax pay करना है. Then your municipal authority, local authority. Municipal authority means your BMC for us, Mumbai Municipal Corporation. Or if you stay in Thane, then TMC, Thane Municipal Corporation. If you stay in Kalyan Dombivli, that is your KDMC. If you stay in your village, then Gram Panchayat. Okay, that is all your municipal authority, local authority. See, now for every small thing, whether your birth certificate, your death certificate, your registration for some shop establishment or anything, we need to register ourselves with the municipal authority. Now for registering with the municipal authority, we are required to pay the certain fees. हम लोगों को 2000, 3000, 1000, whatever the fees are there, that is what we have to pay for them. That is their income. वो municipal authority का income. Okay, so on those income, those municipal authority are liable to pay the income tax. Okay, that is there. And the last point of your person, artificial judicial person. Artificial judicial person. What do you understand by this term called artificial judicial person? Artificial judicial person का मतलब हो गया, they are a artificial person created for judicial purpose. नकली person है, artificial means नकली, और उन लोगों को कानून के लिए बनाया गया, जुडिशियल पर्पस के लिए बनाया गया. जैसे कि टेम्पल्स, मॉस्कोस, churches, gurudwaras, all these temples, mosque, churches, guru, they have lot of income. They are earning lot of income. Okay, but they don't come under the definition of any person. Are they individual? No. Are they HUF? No. Partnership firm? No, no, no. So they all come under the definition of artificial judicial person. See, basically we are going any temple. For example, we are going to Tirupati or a Shirdi or anywhere. We donate the money on the name of God, not on the name of trust. Whatever the trust or devasthan is there. We are not giving the donation to the trust. We are giving the donation for the government. Now, we all know government, we are giving on the name of the God. So we all know God is not going to come and take that money in actual form. So they create a trust. That trust or devasthan, whatever is there, they collect that money, arrange that money for the purpose of utilization for better purpose, like giving for providing the education facility to homeless children, then wildlife facilities, then giving a good facilities to the devotees of that temple, using for temple purpose, all those things they do. Okay, but it is a source of income. It is a income for the those temples, those churches and gurudwaras. Okay, so that income is taxable as the artificial judicial person. हम लोग उन लोगों को कौन से मीनिंग में लेते हैं? Artificial judicial person. ठीक है, that is your person. Now last point for today we are going to study, that is your SSC. What do you understand by the term called SSC? SSC का मतलब आप लोग क्या समझते हैं? SSC means the person who is actually paying and actually liable to pay the taxes to the government. For example, I am Mr. A. I am the individual person, but my income is only 2 lakh rupees. My income is only 2 lakh rupees. We all know your tax slab is 2,50,000. अगर आप लोगों का इनकम 2,50,000 से ज्यादा है तो आप लोगों को टैक्स पे करना है. If your income is more than 2,50,000, you are required to pay the taxes, or else you are not required to pay the taxes. Okay, that is there. Now my income is only 2 lakh. I am Mr. A, individual. I am the person, but I am not the SSC. I am the person, Mr. A, individual, but I am not the SSC because I am not liable to pay the taxes to the government. Okay. Then second case, 3 lakh rupees is my income. My income is 3 lakh rupees. Okay. So here my income, I can say it is your more than 2,50,000. Now in this case, I am liable to pay the taxes to the government because my income is more than 2,50,000, which is the limit cap for paying the taxes. Once your income is increases beyond the 2,50,000, 2,50,000 से ज्यादा हो गया income, तो आप लोगों को tax pay करना पड़ता है. तो अभी मेरे पास income 3 lakh का है. My income is 3 lakh. So am I liable to pay the taxes? Answer is yes, I'm liable to pay the taxes. Now I will be the person, that is Mr. A, individual. Same way, as per person, I will also be called as SSC because I am liable to pay the taxes to the government. So person ke saath saath, as well as person, I am also an SSC. So SSC means that person who is actually paying taxes to the government, actually liable to pay the taxes to the government. For example, you have only 2 lakh, 1 lakh income, you are a person but not an SSC because you are not liable to pay the taxes to the government. If you have income 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 12 lakh, 15 lakh, you are the person, Mr. A. But same time, you are also an SSC because you are liable to pay taxes to the government. Okay, that is there. So this is your point number 1. Point number 2. Anyone, any doubt till now, whatever we have studied? कुछ पूछना है किसी को? No doubts. See, we have started with the provision. Starting lectures, mostly it's going to be in provision only. Like after the 3-4 days or 3-4 sessions of the DT, a maximum 5 sessions, we will be coming to the practical chapter. That is also your residential status. Residential status as amendment and everything. So we will be starting with that chapter, practical chapter, after some more 3 to 4 sessions. Okay. It might be boring for all of you because you all have to listen and try to understand, but it is very important things. It is going to create your base, I can say, with the help of which you can understand your remaining chapters of your income tax. Okay. Chalo, I'm done with whatever I wanted to teach for today as your demo or anything you can say. Anyone wants to ask any doubt for today's session? किसी को कुछ doubt है, कुछ पूछना है? Any help from my side? Nothing is there. So can I assume you guys all understood everything? Correct? No? No doubts? Chalo. Anyone wants to ask anything? Okay, so we can end for today's session. Tomorrow 6:30 or 7, I will confirm and inform in the group. Either 6:30 or 7 p.m. You all have your FA session, which will be taken by a Prasad sir, who is MBA qualified and net qualified. So tomorrow financial accounting will be your subject. Okay, so please attend your demo session for financial accounting. Also inform to your students, your friends and your relatives, motivate them to also to attend the session. Okay, thank you all of you, thank you so much. Bye everyone, god bless you to all of you. Yes Hari, yes, thank you, thank you all of you.